Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Mountain Man Monday. I'm your host, Mr. Mountain Man, coming to you live from the mountains here in Western North Carolina. This is LiveStream episode number 106, and today is February the 28th, 2022. I want to welcome everyone, as always, who joins here live tonight. Feel free to chat, say hello, or if you're listening in the background, welcome as well. And to those of you that may be listening on delay, this live stream and all of them are available under the live stream playlist on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel. As I always say, I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Nice to be back here on a Monday night, joining you all a little bit late, not my record time, but right here about 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, we have people that watch on delay. A special and extra hello to you as well. Feel free to leave a comment below. I hope you enjoy and hear about some of the things happening here in Western North Carolina and surrounding areas. I see we have some folks here already. By the way, my hair is looking crazy, right? Like, so I said, like, I could go comb it a little bit better, or I could put a hat on, but I decided to just run my fingers through it, say it was good enough, and come on. I didn't want any further delays. So it's a little bit wild tonight, but it's no problem. Hopefully, I just didn't want to go up and get a hat, and so all that kind of stuff. And so let's see who we have here. We have Adriana LaShore first in this evening. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Thank you so much for the birthday shout out. Much appreciated. Absolutely. Yes. And again, happy belated birthday. Hope Faith is here. How are you all doing today? We are doing well. How are you doing? Hope it was an excellent day so far and hope you are doing well. It wouldn't be Mountain Man Monday without the regulars here. We got Foxy Wolf. Foxy Wolf, it is time to march into the Mr. Mountain Man Monday live stream one last time into 22 before marching into March 2022. Mr. Mountain Man, always keeping things interesting and making Western North Carolina history fun. Yes, we got the Mountain Man hammer here. Glad to have you here, Foxy Wolf. How you doing? And that was like a tongue twister, some of that stuff on there. And so I'm glad you are doing well. Hope you are. And let us know. Mr. Mountain Man mom, my mom, and dad were just here, left today. They had a visit here over the weekend and went to see my grandmother and down in South Carolina. So it was nice to have them here and tell grandma we said hello. I don't know if she's listening in the background, but on here, better late than never. Actually, I don't even know if you all are still visiting or if you are, at the hotel or whatnot, but it was great seeing you all again and glad that you had safe travels. Mr. Carlos, welcome back, Mr. Mountain Man. What a difference a week makes. It sure does. So last week, had some family activities. We actually had two family birthdays, and my wife's birthday was on the actual Monday. And so we just had a lot going on and weren't able to, do the live stream. Things happen, take priority, but happy to be here again today. It was a, kind of a full weekend last week and a full weekend again. Dita was here a week ago, and then my parents were here this week. So we've had family in and out of town. And so it's been busy, but happy to see you all and back here today on Monday. Have to step away from family Bible study. No problem at all. Anybody who comes in and out of the live stream, that is completely fine. No requirements. Everybody, hopefully just enjoys be here when you can, and when you can't, not a problem at all. Happy Mountain Man Monday, everyone. To you as well, Larry. I hope you are doing well. And I know some of the live streams I've had, we've caught you at the beginning or at the end. So glad that you made it here today. Hope things are going well with you. Let us know how you are doing. Just, Hope asked for you. Hey, Larry, how you doing today? Ted and Deborah Harrison are in here greeting Mr. Mountain Man and everyone in the chat. Hello to you. Hope you are doing well. Let us know how it is going in your neck of the woods. South Georgia is hot, mostly in the 80s. The weather report from South Georgia, our friendly neighbors to the south, And then south in Georgia always seems to be hot and dry. It never sounds nice there, Foxy. I'll be honest with you. I hope, yeah. What's the silver lining? There must be something nice. I mean, you don't have to shovel snow. And for those of you that are, if anybody's here that is in the South, have you all noticed the Bradford pears or dogwoods or any blooming? The thing we have here in the mountains is the buttercups or the daffodils. They have been blooming. They actually start in January. They get pretty confused because the minute you have any warm weather, I mean, even we had that late December stint where it was almost 80 degrees, they started to sprout from the ground. And then we had the big snow and all that stuff. So hope your wife had a fabulous birthday. I hope so too. With all the craziness of family life, we do our best. One thing that was really cool is my wife and I were able to get out, and we didn't really have this opportunity. It's really tough with the kids and everything going on, but because my sister was in town, my wife and I were able to go out downtown Asheville and just kind of walk around, enjoy ourselves, go out to dinner. That is not typical. In fact, for all the years I've been here, I haven't really had that opportunity to do that. And so we found a nice Italian place and had a great dinner. And it was really nice. So that was that day. And then the next day we had cake and, celebrated as a family. And so, I hope she did as well. I think it was good. Yeah. So that's what it did. And then, on her birthday, I think I, cooked out that day. I'm trying to remember. Everything's been, because again, we've had family in and out, and work's been busy. Everything's been going on. So, but it was nice. It was good. Hey, Smoky Mountain Hikers, stopping in to say hello and hope everyone in the chat are doing well. I hope you are doing well too. I'm sure the time of the year is coming in very nicely for you over there in Eastern Tennessee soon, if it's not already. But I know this week we're looking at some 70s later. So if you like the outdoors, it's going to be that time of the year. In fact, I meant to watch a video. Somebody had it out there about they took down the lights out there in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. Boy, does that seem long in the tooth. We've talked about this before, but I'm not a fan of the holiday lights staying up this long. Christmas seems like, well, it's been 2 months. It's a special time of the year. I think it remains special. I know they're not Christmas lights. They're holiday lights and like winter lights. Actually, I don't even think they say holiday, like winter fest or something along those lines. I just think they keep them up too long over there, but maybe folks enjoy it. I just think it goes a little too long. Doing great. Song by Ferris Bueller's House on the way home today, and they were filming something right now a couple blocks from my place. That's awesome. Ferris Bueller is a cool 80s movie, a classic. I always remember the scene where they're taking the Porsche, it's up on blocks, and they're trying to run the odometer backwards, in an old school car. So just saw the dogwoods blooming today in Raleigh. Yeah, so I saw some like purple buds on a tree that I believe was a Bradford pear or a dogwood in the lower elevation in the mountains. So spring is around the corner, although old man winter can bite at any time. I mean, we had a delayed start to winter. So I'm not a complete believer that we're done with winter. March can be pretty cold. We start to get the 70s, think spring's here, but there's no reason, mid-March, it can't be highs in the 30s and snow. Winter isn't over, by the calendar till March 21st. We have the time change coming up, I think March 13th. So it's coming, but yeah, the flowers, March flowers are blooming now. It is, getting nice. Smoky Mountain Hiker says seen some flowers at the Walker Sisters cabin and some on Porter Creek Trail in the Smokies. That's awesome. And, depending on the elevation, people are going to have things blooming at different times, some earlier than others. So it's an exciting time of the year. Every season has something to offer. Everything is blooming here, azaleas and all. I used to love azaleas. I had those when we lived outside of Charlotte. I did not have those in Florida. They weren't sold there as much. Bougainvillea were. I don't know why I'm making a comparison, just something about the color of the flowers and such. But I used to like azalea bushes. They can be really nice. I like those. And Living Like Larry says 85 and sunny here today. That's out in California. Yeah, the lights. So for those that aren't familiar, what I was talking about is over there in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, they keep the Christmas / holiday / winter lights up until mid to late February. And they just recently, I believe, were taking them down. It's just long in the tooth. Again, I've repeated myself multiple times. It's just because it's really exciting. And now that most people put them up so early, you know, to go from like the day after Thanksgiving or earlier until all the way to February, I don't know. But it, you know, it's still cool. Let's see. For all that are watching, please help out Mr. Mountain and go smash that thumbs up. I appreciate it. You know, you know, one of the problems is when I get on here later and I can see how many people have joined, and it, you know, it's tough because I do alienate a certain portion of the audience. Although, as I mentioned, anybody can watch this on delay, especially like a podcast. And I always say that when you all hear me say like a podcast, this isn't a downloadable podcast. Depending on the version you have of YouTube, if you have premium, you can actually turn on something. And if you have headphones or you just put it, you can turn off your phone or your tablet and just let the audio run very similarly to a podcast, or just let it run in the background. And even if you don't have it and you have to keep the screen active or on, it, you know, very much so, because you don't really need to see anything visually here. You know, I'm not doing any song and dance or cartwheels or anything particularly special. It is nice to be able to see all the comments at the bottom. But realistically, I think one could probably listen to this without actually having to see the screen, and it would be okay. And there was a vlogger covering the lights coming down. Okay, cool. Again, so super great of you to give your earnings to charity. You're good and caring man. So what Larry's talking about is, and I'm happy to do it, and it's so wonderful. I've got a backlog of places that I'm looking forward to donating. So, you know, right now with the subscriber base and, you know, the participation basically equates, it looks like about once a quarter, I get about $100. And so, you know, about $400 a year right now. And so, you know, I take about a quarter of that out for taxes. I used to also take out some money for YouTube Premium, but I actually ended up stopping that. I really like it, and it stinks I don't have it. But what happened is, since I was only getting paid quarterly and the charge for YouTube Premium was coming up every month, it really wasn't covering the costs. So for right now, I went ahead and canceled the YouTube Premium. It is a luxury. If, you know, if the channel picks up and I'm able to do it, maybe I'll do it. I wanted to, you know what I wish YouTube did as an incentive, that if you were over 1,000 subscribers, they give you YouTube Premium for free or something. Because, you know, the amount of creators that have that type of channel and user base, you know, is helping out the community anyway. I wish they'd throw us an incentive and have it for free. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the main deal, which is taking that money, turning it around and donating it to a charity here in Western North Carolina. This one happened to be called the Elida Home. It's basically targets for children in several different use cases or situations. It could be children that are awaiting foster care, children that are too old and not ready for foster care but are about to be adults, children in need. They have different programs. In the fall, they run I mentioned on the video, they have like a harvest activity where the proceeds go back into the home. It's been around for over 100 years. So it's just, again, bringing that money back into Western North Carolina, whether it's a food charity, or we've done the flood victims, you know, for, you know, disaster. We do, you know, the children's home, and there's many others that I'm looking forward to doing. So thank you for watching the channel and hitting thumbs up and doing stuff like that. I really appreciate it. And I do mean it. You know, I don't know how they figure out the monetization, but basically it's watching the ads and watching the videos. So those of you that are here tonight and have had to bear watching ads or doing something like that, you know what? You're doing it for a good cause. And it's pretty cool. It's not much money, but it's enough. And so, I mean, it's what we do here. And so hopefully, we'll be able to continue to do that and increase maybe the occurrences that happens as the channel continues to grow. So I mean it. Thank you to the community for being here and enjoying it. And at the same time, we're getting to have a lot of fun. Mrs. C, hi, Mr. Mountman. Hello to you. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Oh, a vlogger on the ships in California. Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Every little bit helps. It does. I'm sure the charities that receive it are saying, that it's every little bit helps. I'm sure that is. Hope needs prayers. Her hips are killing her. Very painful. I'm sorry to hear that. Certainly prayers for you, and Hope. I hope you do, begin to feel better. Sorry to hear about that. Mrs. C, did you try Tony Gore's barbecue? No, I have the note here. I haven't been over to Tennessee. We haven't been to Tennessee since December. Yeah, correct. We have not been to Tennessee since December. So for those of you that might be newer, this program where I broadcast from is Western North Carolina, in the Asheville area. And so it's about 2 hours over to East Tennessee. And I get there, some months we might go twice, and then sometimes it might be 3 months before we go over there. A great place, but not over there. So I have not had a chance. I did not have a chance to do the recipe. I am not a big cook myself, honestly. I've admitted to that freely, but I will pass that along to my wife for sure to try out sometime. And I'm thankful Hope sent me a recipe, and I do appreciate that. So yeah, anyway, it's been a couple of weeks since we've been on here. The last week I mentioned the birthdays. 2 weeks ago, I barely got on. I think it was Valentine's Day, right? And did I jump on the 14th, or has it been to the 7th? I think I did come on the 14th, but it was later, and I was on, but I had no news and notes. I just wanted to get on, and got on for like 45 minutes or something like that. So we're back in full normal mode this evening with my typical boring brown background, my crazy hair, and it's nighttime on the East Coast. So I am happy to be back here, and let us know what's happened in the 2 or 3 weeks since we've had a full-on live stream episode in normal order. Rita's here. Hello, Mr. Mountain, everyone. Hello to you. How are you doing this evening? And glad to have you here. Again, glad to see all the regular folks here. That's what we're about here on Mountain Man Monday. This past weekend I was down passing through Hendersonville, North Carolina, and I can't tell you how wonderful, that town and other, these mountain towns are just incredible, and so much to see. So I'll be looking forward to share some of that with you all. I didn't record anything this past weekend, but just in general, there are so many neat places to see. I never have I literally could make a list very easily without looking on the internet of probably, I'll bet you I could do 50 places that I could want to visit, that I would like to visit. And could do videos. It's just the time thing. But there are some great places to check out, and excited to see what's coming up next. Let's see here. My husband has an Instagram. His name is Poolin 3400. He has a lot of knives. Oh, okay. Now, see, I know I might be incorrect here. Poolin, isn't that the name of a brand name chainsaw as well? Or that's Pullman. I forget. It's something similar to that. Anyway, this is your husband's Instagram account, and he has a lot of knives. Is he a collector or something like that? I haven't obviously seen this channel before, but folks can check that out. And again, I'm all about people here. If you've got a YouTube channel and you want to advertise it, and share it in the community, we're all about being positive, helping each other out, and because people's desire, on their channels, whether it's, travel especially, is just to enhance others' lives, just to make it, to share something. There's a lot of people who don't live in the area. They may not be able to travel to the area. They may not be able to try certain restaurants. And so to be able to see those types of things through the people that want to share it is a nice thing to do. So anybody who's doing that, and there's all kinds of neat places, like Larry's done things out in California. We've got people in the Midwest, Tennessee, North Carolina. Some people cover the same area, which is cool, because one of the things I like about multiple channels in the same area, whether it's Tennessee or Disney, is everybody kind of has their own lenses that they look through. They have, their own unique tastes and opinions. Two different people might go to the same restaurant, whether it's Disney or Asheville or Tennessee. And, one person might like it, one person may not. It's really neat to see the varying opinions and dynamics. So you can never have enough. And I think that people are putting out some tremendous content. So always like to see what everybody else is doing in the community as well. Let's see. Took a long drive. And speaking of Larry, took a long drive last weekend and went to Tombstone. Woo! Love that movie. I know it's a place and they've got a lot of nice things to see, but Tombstone, the movie with Sam Elliott and Kurt Russell and Bill Pullman, I think Paxton, and there was somebody else, I believe, a few other people. But anyway, excellent movie. Speaking of which, I did mention this before. Speaking of Sam Elliott, I just finished watching 1883. I don't know if you guys have watched that. It is the precursor to Yellowstone. Now, Yellowstone's both of the series are really intense. Like if you can't stomach violence, that's not your thing, or you don't like to watch it, these are not for you. But anyway, the writing is very good. A gentleman by the name of Taylor Sheridan, and just finished 1883. Very intense, but a very good story about basically, the Oregon Trail, and no fancy effects. I mean, real horses and cattle in the West. And it was a tremendous story, a very sad story. But anyway, I don't know if any of you have seen it. If you have, let me know. But I really enjoyed that. It made me think of it when Larry was talking about Tombstone and Sam Elliott. And then, just thinking about that. Well, always wanted to go there. I'm glad. That's really cool. That'd be neat to see. Hey, did you do a video? Let us know if you did or are going to, or you just enjoyed it yourself. That's perfectly fine too. For tips and tricks for your house, check out the Eclectic Candyman. The Eclectic Candyman, here's an interesting one. I was looking and I was like pointing at all these tools that I've gotten over the last year. So when you guys see some of these videos, those of you that follow Eclectic Candyman, a video you might see might be a tool I acquired a year ago. Just like this channel, I'm on much a delay. I think I have 25 videos that I could shoot for the Eclectic Candyman of tools that I've gotten, or videos from small to medium. Nothing really large, I would say, but lots of content on that side of the fence, and very humbled and pleased with the organic growth. The interesting thing about the Eclectic Candyman is that I get two sorts of folks over there. One, the people that like the old Craftsman USA tools have enjoyed those videos immensely. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. And then I got a lot of good feedback on these random handyman things, like changing the turn signal bulb in that Dodge. People are like, that is the best video ever. You saved me so much time. I thought I was going to have to take out the whole light fixture. I fixed the car, people. So anyway, the Eclectic Candyman is an interesting thing, and I'll continue to work on that. How have it been? Good news, ready for March. Let's answer each one of those. I've been well. Good news is just, things have been going well. I can't complain. Birthdays and family and stuff, everything's fine. Ready for March. I take it in stride. February has been a fun month around here. Like I mentioned, the family events and people visiting, and winter time and things. But yes, I'll be looking forward to March, and as we progress towards spring, I think it'll be very nice. Let's see. Check your email. Okay, I will do my best. I checked it beforehand, just checking to see if anybody had sent in. The movie wasn't filmed there. It was in Arizona, one of my top 3 movies. It's in my top 5. I have it in my top 5. So we are very similar on that. Yes, Val Kilmer. How could I forget Val Kilmer? I mean, Doc Holliday, he was amazing. Um, uh, he really, yes, him and I said Russell Crowe, didn't I? I meant Kurt Russell, or I don't know if I said Russell Crowe earlier, but I meant Kurt Russell, or maybe I did say it and I was thinking I said it incorrectly. It's a great movie. 1883, the 3 episodes you've watched, yeah, it gets more intense, but it's a great story, and it's just really good. I enjoyed it. Yellowstone's interesting. I don't know if anybody's watched that, but that one is it's like Dallas, but with modern day. Um, it's instead of oil, it's cattle, and they've ratcheted it up to a 10 on intensity and violence. It's a little much at times, but again, steer clear if you don't like that kind of thing. But these are the writing is very good, like in 1883. Mr. Mountman, you need to go to SMKW. Make a video if you do. Ask for TC Barnett, Isaac Ward, Gang Presley. There, my friends are real nice guys. Tell them Mrs. C sent you. Can you translate what? Oh, I think I know what this is because you were talking about knives. Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Is that correct? I'm assuming. I've seen the signs for it. I have never been there before. I'm sure it'd be an interesting place. As mentioned, the only time we get over to East Tennessee in general is as a family. And for those of you that have been here for a while versus, some, um, my family is starting to get a little impatient when I slow down and shoot videos with them. They don't have the patience for it, which means I have to do it on my own. So East Tennessee is not something I have a privilege of covering a lot these days. For one, it's covered very well by many channels, but two, when I go over there, I'm with the full family. And when I whip up that camera and gimbal and start going to work, I get eyeballs rolling. And it's not that I love them. It's not that they're not supportive. It's just it's a process. And when you're a creator and you shoot, and if I say the wrong thing or if I don't record right and I have to redo something, it's a lot of work. But anyway, all that aside, I think it would be cool to check that out, and I will have to remember in this live stream if I ever do make it there, to check it out. And per your reference, Mrs. C, and I think that's very cool. Thank you so much. You can't do a video there. I know people do, but there are signs everywhere. It said no photos or filming for public use. Wow, that's in Tombstone, huh? That's pretty interesting. I try to abide by the rules, even though I've seen many Tombstone YouTube videos. Yeah, I'm with you, Larry. Like, I don't think I would be dodging any bullets, like, pun intended for Tombstone, but I wouldn't try to, circumvent the rules and, just, not doing this for a living. There are some channels that the whole premise of them, and they're very popular. Have any of you all watched like abandoned series where people sneak into like abandoned theme parks or stores and stuff like that, or old hotels? One of the most popular abandoned videos ever was the gentleman from Canada, I believe, who snuck in, I think, or maybe he wasn't from Canada. Maybe the guy from Canada used somebody else's video footage, but they snuck into the old, I think it was called, what is the island at Disney World that was the theme park? I'll look it up. Old Island. Theme park, water, Disney. That was called River Country. Yeah, Disney's River Country. And so Disney's River Country, there's some really popular videos. There's also one at Disney where people snuck onto the second floor at where Figment is in the Imagination, which was open in the 80s, but it wasn't. And then some guy went up there and he was filming, and then one of the cast members caught him, and he just acted completely like, unaware. He's like, "Oh, I thought there was a bathroom up here." And they're like, "No, there's no bathroom up here." So I don't know, so I'm with you, Larry. Yes, security is pretty high there. Love the angle torque wrench. Never knew they made one. This is in reference, Mr. Carlos, to one of my other videos on the other channel. Yeah, that snap-on torque wrench has just a bit of an angle to it, but it's enough that in certain tight spots, like as I mentioned, that one's not for suspension and such. So if you're in an engine bay or somewhere else, if you like the torque wrench, there's going to be another one. And I'll give you a little hint to that I haven't recorded it yet, but something interesting happened with that one that I got, and it resulted in needing another. So anyway, be on the lookout. There'll be another one. My favorite movie quote, Foxy, I'm your Huckleberry, that, and I'm coming for you, and hell's coming with me. Yeah, I know. That is the part at the train station where, after the brothers, they had just lost one of the brothers and they were leaving. Sam Elliott was leaving with his wife and some of the other wives, and then Wyatt Earp, and his band of I believe sheriffs at that point started to hammer down. That was kind of I guess maybe like the climax in the movie. That's a pretty awesome scene when they start storming through on the horses, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, Tombstone's one that I could watch every year. Tombstone, some random ones. I really like Apollo 13. I think Apollo 13's one of my other top favorite movies. We talk about Last of the Mohicans here a lot. I really enjoy that movie for numerous reasons. Top Gun is probably my all-time favorite movie. One of the first movies I saw in the theater. I love that movie. Excited about the second one coming out. So yeah, I'm kind of an action movie, and most of the ones I just mentioned are over 20 years old. So 20 or 30. They had Doc Holliday's Faro table in the bird cage that he sat and dealt cards. So cool. That is really awesome. Sounds like you're into the Wild West, about like me, Mr. Mountain Man. I would not call myself any kind of knowledgeable person on the Old West, but yes, I do appreciate. I know there have been times recently, before 1883, that I was really in the mood to see like a newer Wild West movie, and I was scouring over Netflix and Amazon Prime and maybe even Apple at the time or whatever I had, Paramount, looking for maybe some more modern Western movie made since 2000 that I had not seen that I thought was good. There's some that I hadn't seen, but I didn't think the storyline was that good. But usually if it's a good Western, I like it. But I know there's a whole slew of them from like the 60s. And I'm sure they're terrific movies, but to be honest, we've all been the bar in cinema and TV has been raised so high that when you go back sometimes and watch an old action movie, it's a little bit, it's not as exciting. So anyway, new Elvis movies coming this year. I love Elvis. Yes, I had seen the, I don't know if it was the trailer or the commercial for it, but all the Elvis fans, I'm sure, are getting excited. I love how the weather is finally cleared up and starting to get warmer. I thought we were going to have to build an ark. With the rain, did you guys get a ton of rain coming your way? Yeah, we didn't get it terribly. It might have stalled out in the mountains, but all those, it's not April showers bring May flowers, but all this rain at least is good to kind of jumpstart spring. Yeah, dodging bullets, right? I mean, that one just, pun intended. Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Thank you for confirming that. I appreciate that. And the reference. Thank you. That's how Adam the Woo got big, getting kicked out of Disney for filming where he's supposed. I did not know that. It's, people who caught lightning on YouTube between the years of 2000 and 2015 in popular areas as YouTube was getting very, very popular. Obviously, YouTube goes back further. I think, what was it? 04, 05, maybe 06. I mean, there's, but as it caught traction and cell phones and smartphones and all that stuff, but those that, caught the vibe early and became creators, they really got a large market share. So, at the time, I didn't see the video, might have, and maybe forgot about it, but, this is, those folks that have been around a while, they get a catalyst and then they got some popularity. Oh, you taking off, Adriana? Well, it is late. I hope you have a wonderful week, and thank you for stopping by. Those urban explorers can get a bit crazy sometimes. Yeah, any of these places, but it's just going through the different themes on YouTube. Sometimes I like the abandoned ones, like, Kmart's. They'll go into Kmart's, maybe like an Old Days Inn, different channels, and some are more interesting than others. There is the Bright Sun Films. I think that's what it's called. Anybody watched or subscribed to that channel, Bright Sun Films? I think that's the gentleman from Canada who does the Abandoned series. And those are some pretty good videos. I got into watching all of them like 3 or 4 years ago, and then I haven't been watching recently, but it's still good. Hey, Dr. J. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man and family. Hello to you. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. When I was coming on tonight, my homepage showed a video you had of barbecue. I have not watched it yet, but I'm just trying to plug it here. So check out our show, our story for a barbecue video. Of course, you can let us know what it is about. Heck, people do videos on any old abandoned building and get huge views like hotels or anything, malls. I know. I think reality is if somebody's really after, views or subs, there are a couple of cupcake topics and items out there that people could go to try to, if that was the intent, like you're talking about, to do something like that, because there are some, sometimes people will just record like a train, that's very popular or something like that, like Thomas the Train or something. It could be a poorly made video, but it'll have like 3 million views. So crazy. Let's see. What's the hot topic tonight? Well, the hot topic is, I haven't been here in a couple of weeks. Everybody's talking about spring. We were talking about a lot of talk about spring and blooming and kind of shedding winter time. There was some of that going on. And just kind of catching up. I think outside of that, it's been a typical, around here, kind of eclectic conversations. Just a little bit of everything. Check your email. I sent a video to you that's hilarious. Please be careful. No problem at all. Some of it's not kid appropriate. Thanks for the heads up. Maybe I'll get a good laugh or whatever. I will certainly check it out. Hey, Tommy Tom. Hello, Mr. Mountain. All hello to you. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Thank you for joining us. I went and visited Johnny Ringo's grave at 2 a.m., which seems stupid. After I went out in the middle of nowhere and did it, one ghost I didn't want to run into. Yeah, I don't know what it was like. I mean, is it like a well-lit area? I thought that, so, all right, you'll have to fill me in on the history here. They don't really know. I watched some documentaries or read about this. The way it played out in the Tombstone movie, everything about Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo is a hypothesis. They don't really know how the gunfight took place, if it took place, if that's what actually happened. Did it, has Hollywood just glamorized it and that's not the way they occurred? It's something to that extent that they don't have concrete details. So, a lot of the parts they do, the OK Corral and some of that stuff. But I'm not sure on Johnny Ringo. Let's see. Tombstone is actually very close to what happened. Supposedly, a couple things are off mostly true. This is hilarious. I didn't even see this comment. Here I am saying a big part of the movie, or at least that scene, was unknown. And then Larry's saying everything was factual. But it's basically what I just said, because like the OK Corral was real, the rest of it. But the interaction between Ringo and Doc Holliday, I believe, is a true mystery. But maybe I'll find out. Did you ever watch The Identical? It's an amazing Elvis movie. I have not, but who was asking about that earlier? Was it somebody just, Mrs. C was talking about the Elvis movie. So I don't know if Mrs. C has seen it. Have you ever been to Wheels Through Time Motorcycle Museum in Maggie Valley? I have passed by it a few times. I have not been there. I believe I did watch a video of it on YouTube, but no, I have not been there, but I am aware of it. And that would be cool. Maggie Valley is a motorcycle, very friendly motorcycle place. Like I had mentioned, one of the old motorcycle brand I had 2 decades ago used to have a yearly meetup in Maggie Valley, and they would stay at the Maggie Valley Inn or whatever it was called at that time. That time I had lived in Florida, or actually, no, I was in North Carolina, and I never made it to it. But anyway, the wandering on here, Maggie Valley is a motorcycle friendly area. Adam got in trouble going to Splash Country at Disney. Splash Country. I said River Country, Splash Country. Right. That's the area. That's what I was talking about. That is abandoned. And if anybody gets caught there, you will get kicked out of Disney World permanently. And didn't that happen to him? Like, I don't follow him that closely. Look, doesn't it always seem like I have like 60 or 70% of the details, but not 100%? That's why I always leave the door open. I may not know. I may be inaccurate, but didn't he have a love-hate relationship with Disney World? Some of you that follow him, he's been banned there for years. You know, if I would just read the next comment, I would get my answers. I will get my answers. I seriously, that goes to show, I click a comment, I focus on the screen, I focus on you all, and I'm not looking at the next comment. Yes, sir, it was great. I'm assuming that's in reference to the barbecue. Oh, before I forget, I'll bring, it's really a channel updates. I'll do that when we get to channel updates. Hopefully I'll remember it. Adam the Woo, he's good. Yes, he has some great videos. I like the ones where he goes to movie locations, like National Lampoons or Back to the Future. People keep trespassing on Old Ghost Town in the Sky in Maggie Valley. Sadly, someone recently went up there and damaged the old church. That's unfortunate. And I think so Ghost Town in the Sky, I've been having articles. I even looked for one today. There's a lot of the developer from South Carolina who's got a lot of real estate and such over there in Myrtle Beach. He's the one that's backing this new initiative. He wants to get a lot of housing in there so that will support the new vision for Ghost Town in the Sky. We've been tracking it here on the channel. And so excited about it. But back to the reference of this comment, there are people who head up to the top, get some tremendous pictures and video up there. It appears to me, reverse engineering what's going on, it's more lenient to get up there, drive up there. I think there's an access road that the trucks and such use, so they didn't have to use the chairlift, which is inoperable. And people are going up there and doing video, but that's a shame that people are vandalizing. You know, we talk about that a lot. Yes, that is unfortunate for sure. I'm so over the doom and gloom of winter. Let the beauty of spring in. Right. I talked about that a couple of times recently. I remember vividly last year, I took a picture. It was on Instagram. Beautiful blue day. It was probably right about this time of the year, end of February. And I took a picture of all these trees through multiple layers, and it was all like brown stems and twigs and just no color, just brown and blue Carolina blue skies. And it was like, yeah, this is growing a little long in the tooth. So I'm with you. But you know what? If we get one more snowstorm and we were able to go sledding, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But it does feel a little bit like with the 70s upcoming that it might be behind us. We'll see. Story has it, I know every time I come on later, you are able to join. That is very nice. Glad that you are able to join us. I hope you are doing well. Let us know. Not a well-lit area. Went off-roading 5 miles down. Worst dirt road in the Mustang to get there. I got you at 2 a.m. too. That's crazy. You had dedication for that. I thought they had a guard up there, Smoky Mountain. I must be wrong. I was just reading about how they were trying to get zoning. Right. Rita's right. I didn't know. I was reverse engineering that. It seems like because there's been a plethora of videos recently, even it dawned on me, even though I don't have time, I'm like, should I be going up to Maggie Valley? I mean, to Ghost Town in the Sky and see this? Everybody else is doing it. That scene is unknown. Most say Ringo committed suicide. Wyatt later in life says he shot him. An old farmer found him laying against a tree, and that's where he was buried. Right. So it's a bunch of hypotheses about what happened, but I don't think they do know, right? I think they did find Johnny Ringo propped up against a tree with a hole in his head. So that part of the film should be true. They don't know if it was Wyatt, Doc Holliday. I looked this up. I thought, and I watched a documentary, but again, this was when I was, I get into these phases, and there was a phase where I was looking at a bunch of Western stuff, but it's been a couple of years. I think the museum would make a good video. Which means, oh, yes, the Wheels in Time. Yes, that would make a good video. I totally agree. You're reading my mind tonight, Larry. I even think Universal banned him for 2 years, and Dr. J is reading my mind too. Did he get back in to all these places? I think people still sneak in. I know they were having trouble getting anything approved. Yeah, lots of articles. If anybody's interested outside of hearing it from this channel, If you just put in Ghost Town in the Sky in Google and then hit the news link, it will give you the newest articles. There was one tonight I thought about doing in news and notes, but it was too low level. There wasn't really any, like, I would have put you all to sleep. It was more about the town council meetings or something like that. It was really low level. It wasn't anything like earth shattering, really cool news. Have you watched Hannah Barron and Jeff Barron on YouTube? They fish, hunt, build things, good old country people. I have not. Is anybody else? Always appreciate good recommendations. I go through these stages. I'll watch cars. I watch travel. I watch Disney. I watch ships. I watch train. I don't know. Just go the Apollo program and space, just all over the place. Here's one you'll appreciate talking about movie locations. I drive over the bridge a couple times a week where Nicolas Cage did the big jump with Eleanor and Gone in 60 Seconds. It's right here. Speaking of a GT 500, because I believe Eleanor is supposed to be a 1967 GT 500. I believe in that movie. I saw Gone in 60 Seconds in the movie theater in Myrtle Beach when it came out. I happened to be there that summer. Maggie Valley is a gym. They need to leave it. Ghost Town is a ghost. Yeah. Embrace it and give guided tours. That's a great line right there. You could probably sell bumper stickers in town. Ghost Town is a ghost town and should remain a ghost town. That's one side of the story, I'm sure. What's the saying about seeing a groundhog during the day? Is this a statement or a joke? Like, is there a catch line to it? Because I'm not sure. I know we just had Groundhog Day, but what's the but I'm not sure. Fill me in. Wanted to pop in and say hi. My internet is really bad tonight. Keeps freezing up. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you, Story Has It. I appreciate it. Haven't seen you in a while. And take care. Thank you for stopping by. He had his band lifted in the last year or two. Okay. Maybe he's, and he's playing nice now, hopefully. All right. I caught up. Let me go ahead and get to, it's 67 GT 500, says Larry. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's get to channel updates for the week of 2/28/22. For those of you that have been here for a while, that's been the rebranded name. Okay. Here's one thing that could be kind of exciting, right? So I've mentioned this before, but I did get Starlink. I have the package and it is ready to be installed. I'm getting a satellite installer to help me get it installed on the roof. Starlink is the internet should be about at least it is 10 to 30 times better than what I have now. What does that mean for you all? Hopefully no more grainy Mountain Man Monday. No more me having to run around the house telling everybody to get off the internet. Maybe even clearer picture than you've seen before on Mountain Man Monday, which can be pretty cool. And all of the above. So I'm looking forward to truer high-speed internet. And so hopefully that's a good thing. If you all are not familiar with Starlink, they've launched a few thousand satellites into space, and this is providing internet. The goal from Elon Musk is that internet access for everyone worldwide. In fact, recently, I think they redirected satellites so that, what's going on over in Europe, they could have satellite, internet service. And so anyway, this is, but this is not like the old HughesNet and garbage like that. This is like true. In fact, I think someday this is really the full future of the internet, is like none of this, like yet running cables in the ground type stuff. So anyway, looking forward to that. Let's see, what else do I have? Let's take a look at as far as videos, I don't have anything in the can right now for this channel. I've got some stuff for the Eclectic Candyman, but I have an idea of a place I want to check out here in the mountains, and hopefully I could do that video here shortly. So I'm going to try to get on top of that as soon as possible. Let me go ahead and let's add some color and context to some of the pictures over here on the Mr. Mountain Man Instagram. So let me share this. You know what? It's mostly been food. Where did we leave off? I could tell by the date. 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago. I think we had I think we had the old turkey picture last time we were on. Um they were big turkeys. That's all, and they we get turkey and deer here all the time. This was a cool picture in Asheville, driving around. This picture doesn't do it justice, but yeah, I can see my house from up here. It says Mr. Carlos and Rita, cool picture. This this really looked cool in real time because we were driving and then you could see all of downtown Asheville. The picture's just too flat; it doesn't show it well. But when you were looking through the trees, it was really pretty cool. And so that was kind of a neat picture. This was 2 days late. This was I think near family birthday or something. We had some burgers and hot dogs, and here was something new. I've done it before, but grilled pineapple. So if you take pineapple, put a little bit of brown sugar on it and put it on the grill, and you notice I've got that little tray there, so you could put it directly on the grill, but it can get kind of messy. It's really pretty good. This is a page out of the book of really a Brazilian steakhouse. If you ever go, their dessert is usually grilled pineapple that they slice, and so this is kind of a page out of their book. This was yeah, for Mrs. Mountain Man's birthday. This we went out to dinner, but then the next day we had a chicken smorgasbord here. These are thighs. We got the legs and we got the breasts. I like the breasts. The kids like the legs. The wife loves the dark meat thighs. Actually, I'm not a big fan of thighs, but I will tell you this: when I put them on the grill, they do come out pretty nicely. I will say this about in all the years I've been grilling, and I don't consider myself a grill master. You guys know where I'm at. I'm a very practical griller. I do it a lot. I'm not, necessarily in the camp of having the luxury to smoke for 12 hours. I get out there, I grill, and I'm done. But thighs can be kind of the hardest thing, one of the hardest things to cook on the grill, because if that grill gets too hot and that skin starts to drip juice and grease like down into the grill, it'll flame up. There were times years ago where I'd cook thighs and walk away and go do something in the kitchen and come out and the grill's like a 5 alarm fire, and the things are just burnt. You basically have to peel off the skin and then grill the dark meat again. It's like you get a mulligan with thighs, because that skin, if it does burn to a char, you can get. I have before. I didn't have to that night. I know what I was doing, but I kind of pluck it with the tongs, pull it back, peel it off, flick it out in the woods or something, and and then you've got the fresh bare chicken, and then you can kind of grill it again. This was the other night, kind of low lighting. Those were apple chicken sausages, onions, corn on the cob, and I think I said beef ribs. They were pork ribs, not baby back ribs. They were just the bigger, like spare ribs or whatever. They're really cheap at the grocery. Like if you all see those ribs, I mean, those three like there, and they were like this big. They were like $3.50 for total. Of course, the bone weighs a lot, but you still get some good meat. It's not exactly tender meat. That's why it's cheap, but it's a good deal. And those chicken sausages, those are pretty good. Like if you have any kind of, we don't, but just if you have any kind of dietary restrictions, or you don't want like bratwurst or true sausages because they're so high in fat content and they're not really good for you, the chicken sausages are not a bad way to go. Let me see if anybody said anything. Finding the last comment. Oh. Yes. Yeah. So you were asking about Groundhog Day. Yes. If the groundhog sees its shadow, it's 6 more weeks of winter. I thought you were in reference to something else. So you are correct. And I think they did call for 6 more weeks. Didn't Puxatawny Phil like pass away the day before Groundhog Day and they had to get a backup? That's what I heard. I didn't read it. let me know. This is the Instagram account at Mr. Mountain_man. Thankfully. Yes. I'm mixing comments. What I was about to say, thankfully, hopefully it will work well for you. Yes, that new internet. It's a little bit of a splurge because Starlink is $99 a month. So it is a little bit more expensive, but having the better internet, I think we can make some budget changes and we'll make it work. Yeah. We'll be getting Mr. Mountain Man in 4K. I hope so. If live streams can be done in 4K, I hope I have the bandwidth. Now, I'm not on like it won't be like fiber, like the ridiculous speeds. It'll be about 30 to 25 to 40 up. Upload speed is what matters for live streams and video. And so that's many times better than what I have now. That is also what makes it an absolute bear to upload YouTube videos from at home because they take eons. I mean, one of my videos can take 3 days. So I'm also looking forward to that. Yes, it should be nice. Thank you. Yeah. Here comes the food. Yes. 2022 on technology, right? We're getting into like with these speeds, like 2015 speeds finally, but it's with a 2022 implementation. Yeah, I'm going to need to get a haircut. I know, Mr. Carlos, I talked about that at the beginning. Like I didn't go get a hat tonight. I just kind of ran my fingers through my hair and probably looking a little bit wild. Speaking of wild, have you eaten wild turkey? No. I think that's a kind of whiskey too, isn't it? Something like wild turkey, or is it bourbon or something like that? But no, I've eaten turkey. We eat turkey a lot, like turkey meat in replace of red meat, but no. Yeah, Foxy got it. He's drinking. Everybody's reading my mind, or I'm saying it on delay. Food, yes. And it was a lot. And it's kind of nice. One of my philosophies on the grill, although a lot of people cook like this, again, I'm not the cook, but on the grill, it's like if I'm going to fire up the grill, like, and we have, the meat package or whatever, like just cook the whole thing because grill food, it reheats pretty well. Like if you zap a burger in the microwave, it can dry out. So you have to be careful. But for the most part, most grilled food does okay being reheated. You know what, Larry? It always reminds me of that time. This is about 6 months ago where I had not eaten yet. Right now, I'm just thirsty. Y'all mind if I take a quick? Man, I'm thirsty. All right. 6 months ago, doing the live stream, and I had not eaten enough that day, and I literally was like salivating and low blood sugar. Like it got to the end of the live stream, like, hey guys, I gotta go eat because I'm so hungry. Yes, making you hungry. I took her to I was mentioning this, it might have been before you got there. I had a rare opportunity to go to downtown Asheville with her without the kids, and that's a rare opportunity because Ditda was in town. And Ditda's moving here, by the way, guys. So yay, it's gonna be cool. She'll be here in a few months. But I took her out to an Italian restaurant, which was absolutely fantastic. It was great. I mean, we had dinner and enjoyed ourselves and walked around. I really enjoyed that evening, and I know she did as well. That was a cool opportunity. And Asheville's a very, very cool place. Chicken skin is the best part. So right. So I try to preserve it. I don't want to use my mulligan and have to peel it back and pick it off. But I've learned my lesson. And anybody who's cooked thighs on the grill, that they drip and they can be a mess. Breasts aren't so bad. They don't really cause that much problem. Thighs can, I guess, the dark meat. I don't know. Definitely red meat can. Pork's not so bad, like pork chops and stuff. I don't do fish that much on the grill, but we usually bake fish. I think they are called country style ribs. Yes, Rita, you are right. They are called country style ribs. That's exactly what they are. And my wife absolutely loves those things. Buckeye Chuck is more accurate than Phil. I don't even know who Buckeye Chuck is. I'm assuming somebody in Ohio, right? And the groundhog did pass away. And wasn't it like the day before or something? It's crazy. Your editing is going to be so much easier. So for me, the editing is the same because I don't edit with like YouTube tools or anything like that. I edit in Cyberlink. Is that what it's called? Power Director. I think the company name is Cyberlink or something like that. But Power Director is what I use. The editing, but I think what you're probably meaning in totality, the whole process, and you are 100% correct. It's when I'm done editing and I've created the video, the upload part that is the bear. I usually end up transferring it to my cell phone, and then when I'm out running errands around town on the weekend, it'll upload. What did you see the other day? A groundhog? Oh, the groundhog. Okay, yeah. Yes, and the groundhog did pass away. Tried the ribs slow cooked in kraut. I have not, but I bet you that sounds pretty good. You know, that does sound pretty good. You know, sauerkraut, I'm assuming you're talking about sauerkraut, right? Or kraut. Like that is one of those things when I was a kid I did not like, and as an adult I have come to appreciate it. You all have foods like that. There are foods or sauces and things like horseradish. I did not like horseradish when I was younger, and now I'm like, if I'm getting a sub and I see a horseradish sauce, I'm like, put the horseradish sauce on. I don't know. I just evolving tastes, I guess. And it's nice because you get to enjoy new things. That's enough to stream 4K. That would be great. I'm really anticipating it and hoping it's good because again, it is a little bit of an extra cost. What I'm hoping to do is, you know, after knowing that it's solid and we have, you know, consistent connectivity, getting rid of the old one. Hair looks fine, right? It looks natural. You know, when I was a kid, I always used to, you know, have a lot of gel in my hair, and then it would be all messy and crazy. I couldn't stand it, but my grandmother would be like, "Oh, I love it that way," you know. And I remember we got like family pictures that she did once, and she's like, "You can't put any of that stuff in your hair, you know. I just want it just, you know, regular." And so, yeah, there's something to be said about not having a bunch of junk and just doing it. But my hair can get crazy and wavy and all kinds of stuff. I wake up in the morning sometimes and the thing is just like sticking straight up on one side where the pillow is. Yeah. So, wild turkey, 100 proof, right? That's the kind I've heard of, but I haven't seen, I have not eaten wild turkey. You know, sometimes people at work would bring in like, back in the day, like, you know, some more exotic meats, like, you know, venison beef jerky. You know, maybe somebody did have like turkey or, you know, doing things like that, but I haven't had anything like that recently. I slow cook chops and kraut every New Year's Day. Rita, yes, I believe kraut is one of the good luck foods on New Year's Day, if I'm not if memory serves me correct. The Buckeye Chuck is a groundhog in Marion. Okay, did not follow that. Maybe when your sister moves there, she can help you do some of the videos. It'd be good. Yeah, I think Ditta is certainly interested in doing them. Although I still do like doing them with the family. I think I just have to do it in smaller quantities, you know, like with one person or something like that, and make it more of an outing. Because when the whole family's with me, yeah, it's just not a good idea anymore. Let's see, the last video I did with the whole family there was Dollywood, and we had a little yeah, it started out okay, but by the time I caught back up with the family, you know, it was not ideal. I was, you know, regretting it a little bit. The Sidewinder ride was no problem. That one was no big deal. The mountain cookout top one was weird because I had to keep redoing shots. And so that one was kind of broke up the continuity of just having a good old cookout. So anyway, you guys have heard the story before. I'm going through my memory and talking about some of these occasions. But you're exactly right, Rita. There'll be an opportunity to do some stuff with it. That'll be fun. Power Director is my go-to editor. I like it. I have Power Director 17, I believe is the version. It was prior to them going to the licensing model that they use annually. So I still have a full version, which you can no longer buy. not only can you no longer buy, if you don't have the download or lose it, they don't even let you go back into their site and get it. You try to click on it, it's like, we're sorry, that has expired. You need to buy the current version. So I definitely have that. But thus far, the reality is that editing is editing is editing, and it could produce even at the higher resolutions. There hasn't been that much of a change for the type of videos I do. There is nothing pushing me to have to buy another piece of software at this point. In Ohio, when the field full of buzzards show up, it is spring. They come to the same place every year. Interesting. All these states have different ways of letting you know what season it is, right? Hey, Kentucky girl, hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here and hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. You were talking about sauerkraut. And again, that's one of the things I have enjoyed when I get older. It's just nice to try something new. Kraut is only good in the trash. I know. I mean, it is sour, right? So like, everybody's laughing there, right? Yeah, pork starts falling apart and mixing with it. Larry is the king at cooking. Hey, Spaceman Dudley, kraut is good with bush beans. Bush's baked beans, can't go wrong with Bush's baked beans for sure. All right, moving along. I kind of just went moving like it sounded like a cow there for a second. Moving along. All right, so that's pretty much for the channel updates for the week. Let's move over to the news and notes for the week of February the 28th, 2022. By the way, I didn't realize till the end of 2/22/22. Did you guys pay attention to that? That was crazy. I can hear my boy in the background having an absolute meltdown right now. I think he's tired. I can hear in the background screaming at the top of his head. All right, let's get this one rolling here. Give me 1 second. And boom. Start it up. Let me get another drink. Oh, that's good. All right. What do we got going on here? First up, make sure you can see it. Hide the banner. Oh, just want to read this comment quickly that Rita put here. Rita's seen videos where they're doing a lot of work in the Smokies to make accessibility easier for disabled and baby carriages. I think that's fantastic because, inclusivity for everyone and different, especially over in the Smokies. It's a big time family place. We're not, people, Smoky Mountain Hiker can attest to, and others that, there's hardcore hiking and you can go up to LeConte and do all this stuff. But then there's just the stuff that is targeting your average family. That's people with baby carriages. People could be in wheelchairs. People may not be able to walk that far. And so I think that's a great thing. I think that's great. Yeah, 2/22/22, but the whole week read the same way, forward and backwards. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. And in Alabama, a baby on 2/22/22, 2/22 in room 2. That is awesome. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Back to this. All right, what's up first on deck? Ripley's Ultimate Fun Pass sale. I always talk about this each year. Normally, I do participate in it. From the article here, all Food City locations, if I guess to explain, that's a Tennessee-based, I believe it's Tennessee-based, but it's the ones in Tennessee grocery store. And so, if you've been to East Tennessee, you'll see these this is all Food City locations, though, from January the 5th. I'm a little late on this article till Tuesday, March 8th. So only about a week and a day left on this. On sale beginning January 5th at Food City. Get access to Ripley's Aquarium and 8 additional attractions in Gatlinburg for the lowest price anywhere when you purchase your annual passes exclusively at Food City. We've done this the last 2 years. Annual passes for adults ages 12 and up are $139.99, a savings of $38. Children's passes 3 to 11 are $69.99, almost $20 in savings. Children passes age 2 are $20 and about a $10 savings, and then under 2 are free. What an incredible deal for the entire year of family fun. Here are the 9 attractions: Ripley's Aquarium, Ripley's Haunted Adventure, Ripley's 5D Moving Theater, Ripley's Super Fun Park, Ripley's Believe It or Not, Ripley's Marvelous Mirror Maze, Ripley's Davy Crockett Mini Golf, Ripley's Old McDonald's Farm Mini Golf, and Ripley's Super Fun Zone. All right. You also save on admission, merchandise, and food at all Ripley's Tennessee and Myrtle Beach attractions. Save on Glass Bottom Boat Adventure and birthday parties at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smoky. Man, that'd be kind of cool for the kids, but it's too far from here. Additional benefits include savings on admission to Dollywood, Dollywood Splash Country, Zoo Knoxville, and more. You know what I did not know? This is what's going to make it tough for me. And I see Smoky Mountain Hiker saying $99.99. I'm going to address this. I remember that too. Smoky Mountain Hiker, what I just noticed tonight is that over here, I do not recall Super Fun Park. It's the bottom right-hand logo being included in the pass. This is a go-kart park. I had to look it up today. Super Fun Zone is the old Cooters in Gatlinburg, and we had been there, and they have laser tag. But Super Fun Park is a go-kart place, and go-karts tend to be more expensive. I do not remember that being a part of the pass. If it did, I completely wasted an opportunity to go there. I think they've added it. I don't know when it was acquired. I'm sure you could probably tell me or somebody else. But the very fact that they have now included that in the pass, it does add to me about a $10 or $20 factor, because the go-karts are typically, if you take the family or kids to a go-kart place, you will drop like $100 or $200 unless you get those day passes. It can be very expensive. And so the fact that they've included it, I think, is pretty cool. And it helps justify that cost. But yes, it did used to be a little bit cheaper. It is a good deal. You love the aquarium. If I am going to say yes, here's why. If you're talking about East Tennessee, well, okay. When you say Smokies, you have to define it, because we've talked about that on this channel, that the Great Smoky Mountains National Park extends about as many square miles into North Carolina as it does Tennessee. But North Carolina is often the forgotten part of the Smokies. Everybody focuses on Gatlinburg and what's west of there in the Smoky Mountains National Park. But sometimes people say the term Smokies synonymously with Gatlinburg and the Pigeon Forge area. So if you mean the actual national park, it continues to have attendance records. If you mean the two cities or East Tennessee, they also have been hitting many lists of greatest places to travel, both domestically and international lists, believe it or not. And Ripley's, believe it or not. So I anticipate the crowds to be somewhat annoying in the peak times. And I think it's very different in just the last 5 or 6 years. I think the popularity has gone up, which honestly, I was in Hendersonville this weekend, and, I've been in Asheville recently. I love East Tennessee. It's a great family place. But to be honest with you, when I take inventory of walking around Gatlinburg, Tennessee, it's a lot of junky shops. There is not really great shopping. There is an anchor at the one end near the Smoky Mountains National Park that has like camping gear and outdoor gear, but is way down there, and it's not a ton of foot traffic that way. There's one other halfway decent gift shop about the middle of the way down, heading, towards Pigeon Forge. I'm saying whatever direction that is. So I guess it'd be north or east on the parkway, about halfway down on the left-hand side. Not bad. But to be honest with you, it's a lot of, it's kind of a lot of kind of junky places, like, cheesy t-shirts and taffy and, junky souvenirs. And it used to be like where that McDonald's was disgusting when it was there. I don't consider the dining all that great in Gatlinburg. I mean, there is the Peddler, and there's a few decent places, but some chains and some street food. But I would much rather go into Pigeon Forge and get a meal for the family than in Gatlinburg. there's something of the allure of Gatlinburg, but I'll be honest with you, these mountain small towns that I've been in Western North Carolina are, in my opinion, superior. Yes, I use that word, superior, to Gatlinburg experience. The shopping, the arts, the shopping, and the dining, whether from any in no particular order. If you wanted, a chocolatier, a bakery, ice cream, you wanted an Italian restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, an American restaurant, maybe a small museum, actual quality like general stores and nice local crafts and fare. These mountain towns are so much nicer, very clean, and less traffic. And to be honest, extremely underrated. Everybody just thinks I got to go to Gatlinburg. Now, I won't take away from Gatlinburg that there's Ober Gatlinburg and there's the tram and Anakista. Those are really cool type things. But when it comes to the shopping and dining experience, and I know you all could probably call me out on a particular restaurant here or there, but I think overall, I think Gatlinburg, dare I say, is a little overrated. Its popularity is more than what the experience delivers. I mean, some of the t-shirt shops, the things they're hanging in the window are like not stuff I really want the kids seeing. And it's like, I'm not saying it's like gone to like Vegas or anything. I'm not making any kind of statement like that. I'm just saying, like, the shock value t-shirts. I'm like, is that what we've devolved to? Like, having to, you know, to sell that kind of stuff. Like, where's the quality stuff? Like the Smoky Mountains type stuff, the good quality things that could be there. I don't know. It just seems kind of run down. I don't have the excitement about that, but we still do it. We still go to Gatlinburg. It's a pretty place. It's nestled in the mountains. And we do enjoy it as a family. But I will say, after having traveled in the mountains here, I don't think it's the number one place. But anyway, this was all spawned, this little monologue here about will it be crowded. It continues to be popular. If you mean Smokies, again, synonymous with Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. If you mean the park, any and all of it, yes, yes, and yes. Ripley's is a good deal. Yes, the aquarium, I read that. I didn't know there was a fire going on. Maybe somebody else can give a report on that. Chuck Wagon Roundups this year is busier, I thought, 2 weeks ago when you went. Oh, Mrs. C, you have a TC Barnett, works at Dollywood Stampede. He's a singer there. Very cool. I haven't been to the Dollywood Stampede. I went once in Myrtle Beach. It used to be out there, and that's when I had seen it. Rita's gonna make a believer out of Dr. J and the sauerkraut. Ripley's is a cool place. First one I ever went to was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I do like it. Hollywood Boulevard is a lot like Gatlinburg, only trashy. You got to tell me, Larry, before I just went into talking about all the trashy stuff in Gatlinburg, had I already started talking about it, or did you read my mind again? Because that's getting crazy. Definitely going to be crowded. Yes. Everybody's confirming that. No Way Jose is good. Cherokee Grill. I have been to Cherokee Grill. Cherokee Grill. We went there for a Christmas dinner once. Not on Christmas Day, but like in the season. It was a nice meal. And like I said, there is a restaurant here and there, but I don't consider Gatlinburg the mecca of good dining. There are many places better. In fact, I brought it up. I would put downtown Hendersonville up against Gatlinburg any day of the week for what restaurants they have to offer on Main Street or Asheville. But Asheville's not a fair comparison because it's too big. Pigeon Forge is onto its own. Pigeon Forge is like Myrtle Beach. So again, I would prefer to go into Pigeon Forge to have a meal. Don't like Gatlinburg because of the parking. And that's a problem too. If you go there on a Saturday, forget about it. You need a buffet of patience. It does have a Golden Corral. I do like Golden Corral. And we might go to the Golden Corral. If it's family, we're not always going to be eating at some, French cafe or something like that. And yes, Mrs. C has a good point here. Severe pardon me, Sevierville better than Gatlinburg. This is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You're exactly right. Sevierville, it's just some of these places have gotten a tremendous reputation, but now I think the reputation still lives on, but the city doesn't live up to what it used to be. But I'm outvoted in my opinion because it's still wildly popular. I think Gatlinburg started going downhill when they added the moonshine. It's possible. I have noticed that a lot of those places did get built out of like or old places that they had tore down. There's certainly money in it. I don't know what to say. I mean, you live there. I have no idea. The one thing I will say about those places, at least they're clean. What I mean by clean is like, if you walk into any of those, the presence of the store is not trashy looking. Not everybody cares for the moonshine. I understand that point and viewpoint, but the physical stores are well kept. But I've been into some of those stores and we have like Gatlinburg sweaters and coats and stuff. And I've been into some of these places and they're just kind of junky. But I mean, you get a good deal on a sweater. It's just, I'm like, sometimes I take a step back. I'm like, what's so great about this place again? I don't know. Yes, it is a pain in the butt. We used to go to Smoky's area from 99 to 05, late March, had the place to ourselves. Yes. And again, I don't know if you're talking about the park or those cities, but Gatlinburg has really gone down over the years. We like going to Crafters Row in the Glades. That is one part, though, I will say, of Gatlinburg outside. I still think the arts and crafts community is pretty cool. And that's, you can't do it on foot so well that you have to go out of the car and stop at the different locations. But I do like the arts and crafts trail or community in the city or area of Gatlinburg. And the Cherokee Grill is good. You put that before I said that, and Hollywood is way trashier. Larry, I don't know how you're reading my mind so much. That's crazy. We're on the same wavelength tonight. Could you imagine traffic if Pigeon Forge also had no? Oh my goodness. Well, Myrtle Beach used to be like that, but you know what Myrtle Beach ended up doing? They built like 5 bypasses. So like 17 bypass, Ocean Boulevard, this bypass. So they made so many different ways parallel that it helped ease up the traffic. I think it's a lot of the charm that attracted us in the first place. Yeah, the mountains combined with it. I remember my first impression was like a little town in like in the Alps or Switzerland, some of the original architecture. Like when you get over like where the pancake pantry in the village, that is probably my favorite part of the village and Ober-Gatlinburg. And I know not Ober-Gatlinburg isn't for everybody, but I like getting away and up on the mountain. I think it's really nice. But again, walking up and down and just droves of people. I don't know. It's just not, I don't know. It just seems different than it was 5 or 6 years ago, even. There needs to be some big name music shows, whether current or earlier. Oh, maybe in that area. Yeah. All right, let me go to the next one. So anyway, if you want to get your discount, am I going to get it? They made it really tough with those go-karts because we were about on the no train, and we have not gotten our Dollywood passes either, and they're about to open. So we, the scale kind of tipped. We went a little too far with season passes for too many places. We had the Arboretum and Chimney Rock. We had Ripley's and Dollywood, and we just weren't going enough to all these places because of how busy with all the activities that are going on that we can't go to them. So I said, we got to be realistic. We got to throttle back. We got to pick and choose. I don't care for all the cheap gift stores, just not my thing. Right. So one of the things I like to show is some of these other mountain towns. I've already showed some, but I did Silva, but I wasn't able to unfortunately go in the stores, but you were able to see, and downtown Silva, and also Chimney Rock, North Carolina. And I thought they had more unique crafts of the areas, and that was pretty cool. Hey, MK, welcome to the live stream. You said still love the video, Little Switzerland. I really appreciate that. What a cool place, isn't it? And I would love to get back up there. I would like to get to the real Switzerland someday. I think it's really, really neat. So, hey, I love the avatar, by the way. My mom used to like that little guy from the Looney Tunes. And I'm sorry, his Marvin Martian, right? That's his name. Didn't they used to have that spaceman like Lee Greenwood, Marie Osmond. Oh, I don't know. And in Gatlinburg. And Louise Mandrell was always good as well. All right, moving along. Next up, do it again. Oop. All right, this tourist spot. Let's get back to my area for at least one slide. This tourist spot in the North Carolina mountains ranks among the nation's trendiest places to travel. North Carolina is home to one of the hottest travel destinations for 2022. A new report finds the mountain town of Asheville ranks number 10 on a list of up-and-coming places to visit. The results were divided into several lists, including the most trendy and popular locations, as well as those that are best suited for people who enjoy big city sunshine, skiing, food, and the outdoors. Asheville only made the list of trending U.S. destinations, becoming the lone place in North Carolina to receive that recognition. That's it's interesting because the East Coast, North Carolina is a big state, has a massive amount of tourist places. And I'm not just talking about the Outer Banks, Bath, North Carolina, and Washington, North Carolina, and all those places over there, little towns and places in East North Carolina are really cool. It's like two completely different states, the mountains to the sea. It's really neat, though. TripAdvisor gave the tourist hotspot a nod for its food and, of course, its breweries. If you're into eating locally and supporting sustainable agriculture, go to Asheville and eat. This town of less than 100,000 people has 17 farmers markets, and the local restaurant scene is all about taking advantage of the seasonal produce sold there. When you're done eating, the travel website also recommends checking out waterfalls near the Blue Ridge Parkway, a scenic road that spans more than 400 miles through the mountains of western North Carolina and Virginia. It's not the first time Asheville has received the top honor. City's also been named one of the nation's best places for beer drinkers and is home to the state's top-ranking bed and breakfast. McClatchy News reported in 2021. But Asheville recently was snubbed in another ranking. Wilmington and Winston-Salem were the only North Carolina cities that earned spots on Southern Living's list of regional locations that are on the rise. This town around TripAdvisor said the hottest travel destination in the country was the Big Island in Hawaii. Rounding out the top 5 were Charleston, South Carolina, Branson, Missouri, Moab, Utah, and Fort Myers Beach, Florida. Yes, Asheville has a lot of cool places to go. Oh, by the way, I'm going to make a comparison. This is interesting, but Rita had asked, and some other people had asked, where did I take my wife out for her birthday? And we went downtown, found that neat little place. I took my wife on her 40th birthday to San Francisco, and San Francisco is a amazing city. Like, you can definitely do everything on foot. If you like walking, it's no big deal. You don't need a rental car. You stay downtown or uptown or whatever, and you can just walk everywhere. And there's 14 million restaurants. Yeah, that fake number I just said. And you can go see the Painted Ladies, the famous Victorian row houses. You can just, go down to Fisherman's Wharf. There's just so many cool things to do. But Asheville, the downtown area, the eclectic cultural restaurants really reminded me out of a block or two, a slice of San Francisco. Very small, older buildings, redone little restaurants, Spanish, Italian, American, Japanese. We had everything. I thought it was really cool. I'm starting to really, again, going back to that conversation I had a few minutes ago, it's not to poo-poo on East Tennessee, but there really is a more, I would say, premium and cultural experience in some of the mountain towns here in Western North Carolina. But again, I'm not going to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I go with the family often to East Tennessee. I just know it for what it is. It's an entertainment mecca with, neat dinner shows and big time entertainment and go-karts and lights and fun things in the East Tennessee side of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Still love it. Still go there. Love Dollywood, Ripley's, all that stuff. Lots and lots of fun. But when it comes time to like a richer, deeper cultural or even local mountain type experience, I would much recommend more the many, many, many towns outside of the large touristy areas. I think people can have a tremendous experience. And I don't even mean downtown Asheville. I mean, all of Western North Carolina or even Tennessee. You talk, Dr. J, I don't know if he's still here, but he's gone to, I think, places like Greenville. And then there's like Townsend and Sevierville, and there's probably dozens of them. That kind of thing when you get away is pretty cool. Let me see. I have not been to Branson, Missouri. Did I just read that wasn't that on that list I just read? Yes, it was. It was in the top 5. So that must be awesome. I have not been there though. Oh, Spaceman Dudley worked at Dollywood. I lived in Sevierville and went into the grocery store. Lee Greenwood was shopping. That is a cool story. Does downtown Asheville have easy parking like in Nashville? It cost you a week's paycheck. That is an excellent question. We have been down there several times, including for July 4th fireworks. They have multiple parking decks, and it was no problem at all. We were there on a Sunday. It was easy peasy. And I got confused when we left because we were exiting the parking garage and the arm to exit was open. But the machine to pay was still on. So I paid this. It was $6. $6 to me for a night out is nothing. No big deal. I think there may be some city ordinance that we could have parked there for free after a certain time. But I was like, you know what? It's maybe like one of those speeding cameras that if we drove through it, took a picture, and then I get some like $50 fine for not paying the parking garage fee. So I may have unnecessarily paid for parking, but to me, it was insurance. I didn't really know the rules. It was kind of odd that the arm was up. But anyway, the long and the short of it is that that's a great question, and parking was no problem at all. Oh, wow. Larry's got something going on where you are. I hope everything's okay. Yeah, I hope everything's all right. Run, says Foxy Wolf. I didn't do anything. Just sitting here enjoying the ocean. Let's see. When I worked at the ice arena in Ober years ago, let Lee Greenwood and Aaron Tippin, when they brought their family up to ice skate. That's awesome. And I love, by the way, I love the ice arena. I've ice skated there a few times. And I think it's a pretty cool place. We do have a homeless population here. This is a local news story for sure. I mean, anytime you get into a bigger city, it's going to be an issue. One of the things that does surprise me a little bit about homelessness in this area and to the north is, when it gets cold, but there are shelters and other things. But yes, typically anytime you go to any larger city, when I lived in Florida, homelessness was a very large problem because of obviously the climate. People didn't have to worry about it getting too cold in the winter. So this is a scenario here. Yes. Yeah, $6 deal. Try 25 at some of the lots. I remember the first time I went to Chicago in the late 90s on my own dime, which I hardly had 2 dimes to rub together. And parking was $25 in the evening. Now, that doesn't sound like much in 2022, but in the late 90s, for me, at that time, making $5 or $6 an hour. So yeah, 4 or 5 hours worth of pay to park in a garage. I was like, good gracious. I was used to like $1.50 or something like that. So yeah, some cities, they really take it to you. We stayed at a bed and breakfast in Brevard. Oh, the Broomfield Inn, great town, hiking and waterfalls, perfect weekend back in November. You are exactly right. Brevard is a beautiful place. A couple of my videos have touched on it down there, but I haven't been like shown off Brevard, but the motorcycle ride that I went on by there in that area. But yes, you are correct, MK. This is another nice area. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody's comments. I know you all are chatting back and forth. I'm just trying to do the ones that are directed at me or the entire group. All big cities have a homeless problem, and it's sad. Yes, it is. And, at some point, one of the times I donate on the channel, we'll find a cause here. We did the Manna Food Bank, and that is a good one. There's Catholic Charities. They do a lot for the homeless. There are several organizations in the area. So hopefully, someday we'll be able to do that too. I have several organizations in Western North Carolina I like to, donate to as we get this happening. Oh, you got to drive the Zamboni. Woo, that's pretty cool. Ladies and gentlemen, please get off the ice. We need to clean it. We will recommence skating in 20 minutes. That's probably what happened. Oh boy. Y'all are making me want to get in the car and wait, that's the wrong one. Y'all are making me want to hop in the car and drive. I know. So much cool stuff to do. I had two homeless guys sitting here when I got to my bench. Yeah. Howdy. Um, let's see. Have I been to the Boston Market lately? That's a chain. We used to love that as a family. The one here that was near us in town closed during the pandemic. I think they succumbed to it. So I haven't seen one in a while. One of the things I liked about Boston Market was we could go out and eat halfway healthily as a family. You know, you could get the rotisserie chicken, the vegetable sides. And I know that some of their sides are enhanced with, you know, salt and butter and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was better than the family going out to Kentucky Fried Chicken or something like that. So I like Boston Market, but I haven't been there in a while. Nashville's growing so much. They're putting so many buildings what looks like glass. I don't like it. I wish they'd keep the old look. You know, Rita, when I drove home, my car, it had been the first time I'd ever gone through Nashville. And I think I made mention, I remember you probably heard me say it, but I knew Nashville was a big city. I had no idea that big. Like when I looked at the skyline of the city, I'm like, wow, Nashville is a big city. I didn't think it was small by any means, but I didn't equate it to like a Charlotte or an Atlanta or something like that. But Nashville is on its way. I've driven over from Bristol to Asheville just to eat at Boston Market. Did you say it closed? Okay. So there was one in South Asheville, I believe, that closed. I don't know if they all closed. I mean, I can look real quick. Boston Market near me. Let's see if there are any. Oh, Charlotte. According to the Googles, Charlotte is the closest Boston Market. So the one you went to must have been the only one in town, and it did close. So double check on that, but I believe that to be accurate. We were just in Nashville over Christmas. They still didn't have all the repairs done from that. Oh, the bombing. Yeah, that was really sad. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Let's see. Dollywood prepping for the 37th season to open. And if y'all can't tell, I was trying to be a mildly humorous there. That picture looks like it's probably from about circa 1988. Looking at Dolly right there. I do not believe that is a current picture. This is a really lengthy article here. I am not going to read it all. It talks about the off season last week. Well, let me read this part. For many employees across the company's properties, the off season anything but off time, with several projects occurring simultaneously this winter. A number of new sites will greet guests when the park opens to all season pass holders, March 11th for season pass holder day and March 12th for the general public. I believe that is Friday and a Saturday, because I think the 13th is a Sunday. Last week, members of the media toured Dollywood Splash Country, and the newest property in the company's portfolio, the under construction Dollywood's Heartsong Lodge and Resort. That's pretty cool. And let's see. A couple of points here. We reconfigured our parking complex to better utilize the lots at both Dollywood and Dollywood Splash Country to provide a more efficient experience for guests as they enter our property. I think I remember that last year, like section F was like closed off and they were doing some demo there. So I don't know how they've redone that. The principal change guests will see is the swapping of the guest traffic lanes with the tram lanes, which removes previous points of intersection between the two. The multi-property parking complex now employs a one-way circuit, which eliminates the two-way traffic pattern of the old parking lot layout. Oh, that'll be interesting to see. Also, the addition of 2 extra parking lot toll booths, as well as more staging lanes for the toll booths, will result in a reduction of time spent waiting to enter the property. I will give a nod to Dollywood. We never really had to wait. There was the one day that we went really bad. I just see somebody said Mrs. C is leaving. Gotta go. God bless you all. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful week. Did Dr. J say he's leaving? Oh, yeah. You all have an amazing week. I got to catch up with y'all. Glad I got to catch up with you all night. Same to you. Have a good evening. Yeah, Dollywood, I never had a problem getting through there, except for that one time the day before Thanksgiving, which was a mess. Other projects throughout Dollywood theme park include the renovation of the Iron Horse Pizza, formerly known as Victoria's Pizza, to include greater production capacity and more seating space. The Emporium also receives a complete makeover, providing a modern shopping experience as guests look to find unique Dollywood keepsakes. Oh, the Emporium. Is that the one you exit on the way to the parking lot when it closes? Two buildings have been removed to allow for wider walkways, the former Eagle Shop and the former Christmas Cottage. The tunnel connecting Lower Craftsman Valley to the village has been removed, with the final result providing guests a location to spread out, perhaps while enjoying a loaf of cinnamon bread. Wait, the tunnel connecting Lower Craftsman Valley to the village. I hope that's not that tunnel by the train. I thought that thing was cool. Maybe that's another thing. I hope they didn't remove that. I like that tunnel. As our park continues to expand, we must regularly address the areas of the park that have been longer. We put much thought in every project. We know, oh boy, I think we know the mine tunnel was a popular landmark for guests, but its removal was necessary at this time. We feel the new widened pathway will offer a great place to watch Dollywood Express, which is one of our most popular attractions as it leaves and returns to the village. I like that tunnel. Man, at least I got that tunnel on my last Christmas video with the little tiny white lights on the trees. I always liked walking through there, and it was very cool in the summer because you were going through a tunnel. Man, that stinks. And Spaceman Dudley confirmed that. He said the tunnel is gone. Bruh, that stinks. It was in bad shape. Is that Dolly showing her arms? Yeah, well, she's kind of like this, like, like pointing, but she could be flexing. Like, oh boy. Let's see. I hope we'll have generations of guests who make fond memories in this area. Yeah, like that'll be a new family thing. That wide paved path, tar path. I just have great memories of it. But I know what they need, and I applaud the engineers for doing that. They're not doing anything to upset the fans. They're just doing it to make it better. So that's cool. Not limited to Dollywood theme park, Little Creek Falls. They talk about Dollywood Splash Country. Members of the media also visit the site of the Heart Song. Yep. First project in the 10-year, $500 million announced in June 2021, which we did on News and Notes last summer. Yep. That'll be opening at some point. 37th season is one of excitement, thanks to returning guests' favorites, new experience to joy, and one of America's best theme parks. The Flower and Food Festival, April 22nd to June 5th. More fun this year. Mosaic cultures include the butterfly umbrella, various animal scenes, and Dolly's mother sewing together the coat of many colors. That is awesome. The umbrella sky. Smoky Mountain Summer Celebration, June 18th to August 7th. We missed that whole thing. We didn't go during the summer. We waited back till like September. Extended operating hours each evening. Families can ride Dollywood's world-class roller coasters. During the day, guests can also enjoy one of the most popular Dollywood shows of all time, Gazillion Bubble Show Aurora. I didn't know that. Oh, cool. And it goes on and on. A family tradition for many families, Dollywood Harvest Fest, the 23rd to the 29th. New in 2022, guests will have a hoot in Craftsman Valley as it transforms into Hoot Owl Hollow with owl-themed displays, both in the park and suspended in the trees. So yeah, lots of like little changes and little engineering changes. My guess is most of their money has gone into the new resort. Let's see. You did like the tunnel. The tunnel is gone. The mountain behind it kept slipping down. I did not know that. So you and Smoky Mountain Hiker both said that there was a problem structurally. So I guess probably had to go. Oh, really? She wheezes? She doesn't like her arms? Something wrong with her arms or something? I did not know that. Yeah, that's an old picture. Like I said, that's probably like circa 1980 something. That's an old picture. I did not know that. That is really creepy. I bet Dolly has a tattoo sleeves of Porter Wagner and Conway Twitty. That's hilarious. Dolly wears a sleeve, skin toe. Maybe, some people have maybe a skin condition, or maybe she just doesn't like them or something like that. I don't know. I did not know that. I'm intrigued. I don't need to know, but it's an interesting fact. Dolly is such an amazing person. She extended her book program over here to Western North Carolina. If you saved up for it, or saved up, if they extended it over into Western North Carolina to include children here to be able to be a part of it as well. So we get a book once a month also. She, like most people at her age, skin gets ugly. Just ask me, I know. And maybe that's it too. Dolly, and every stage has its beauty. Maybe that's it. She doesn't care for that either. But Dolly Parton is an incredible person, and talk about somebody giving back to the community. She is the epitome of that. Does it a lot. Here is the 7-day Asheville, Western North Carolina forecast. And if you notice, 62, 63, 68, 70, 62, 67, 70. And that's in the mountains. So if you went down into the foothills or upstate South Carolina, you're going to add 5 to 8 degrees. They're probably almost up near 80. And Foxy said in southern Georgia, they're in the high 80s. So spring, and that's almost like summer. Yes, right. Yeah, everybody loves Dolly. I didn't know that was a fact about her arms. That's an old picture. It could be 20 or 30 years old. Oh, Rita, no, don't be hard. I mean, that's not, like I said, every, the stage has its, its part. And so, that's, no problem at all. But anyway, this is the weather here, and we'll be enjoying some of the warm weather coming up. But again, I wouldn't be surprised in a couple weeks if it bites us again and gets a little bit colder. But we will see how it goes. So, folks, there you have the news and notes for the week of the 28th of February, 2022. I've been noticing tonight we got a pretty good amount of people to show up for the live stream. So anybody who might be listening in the background that's new or hasn't been here before, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments or want to leave, or have any questions, or what. And by the way, live streams, people don't have to interact. A lot of people don't want to come in. I think that's 100% okay too. Just to, I talked about it earlier about listening like a podcast style, audio style. I just hope that you are enjoying the content. And, it's, I'm glad to have anybody here to hear some of this, kind of mix of mountain content that we go through. And from, again, if anybody's new or listening, we kind of rotate week to week. One of the things I'm sensitive to, although it's a difficult thing to teeter, is like the news I do is obviously from the area of travel and where this channel and the nature of the news. So I have wondered before, does this bore people from Idaho or from California or from Maine or from overseas or from, anywhere? And so, but I think people probably naturally gravitate to listening to something like this if they're already interested in the area. And if you're not, probably learning something new or hearing some fun conversations. Have you seen the frescoes? I have not, and I'm not sure exactly what that is, but please let me know. Usually get a cold snap before Easter, which I believe is like April 14th this year, something like that. March 13th is the start of longer daylight, and that will be nice. It will be, because again, here's another Nashville interesting fact. When I was driving that car, and because you're close to the Central East time zone, but it was, you're getting closer to East, but you're still on that 1 hour behind. It was getting dark at like 4:20 on a clear day in November. So I was like, my goodness, you guys probably really like the change in time. Got to go to bed. Everyone have a good night, a good week. Absolutely. We're about to wrap it up anyway. We're almost done here. I've been on for an hour and 48. It's almost 11 o'clock. So yeah, I will be wrapping it up here in just a minute or two. Snow race week in Bristol. It has done that before. The NASCAR race, they have had snow at that time. The best part of Mondays, I appreciate it. And I'm glad that you guys had a good time. So I think with that, we'll wrap up the live stream. And let me read this one more comment. Fresco paintings in Jefferson, Boone, and Crossnore, North Carolina. They were done years ago, but very nice. I will have to look into that, and I appreciate the information. Thank you very much. Easter is April the 17th. Okay, yes. Warm there, back to cold on Friday. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful week. It was nice to get back into the routine, take it week by week and see, when I'm able to get on and to what level. But hopefully the next time, it's super duper clear, or at least the max it can be for whatever we've had here. And but we don't complain anyway. Everything's good as long as we can get together. It's all good. Yes, everybody go have a safe and fantastic week. As Foxy says, another enjoyable evening. Have a great night, Mr. Mountain. You as well. 8. Goodness, that is cold. Great live stream, says Rita. Thank you so much. Teb and Deborah Harrison, thank you so much. Yes, appreciate it, Larry. Everybody have a wonderful, safe, happy, healthy week. Glad you enjoyed it. We'll stay connected on the Mr. Mattman YouTube channel through Instagram and posts and this live stream. And eventually I'll get a video out. We got the Eclectic Candyman and all the other fun ways that we're doing things around here. Anyway, until next Monday, until we meet again, everyone have a wonderful week and a great evening. We'll talk to you later. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time.